So the standard metagame challenge is finally back, and they changed it a little bit, but it's going to be over by the time this video comes out, but it's still a really good way to earn packs. Now it's random packs. I only did a single run of the metagame challenge. I won't really have much time to play more, but we got a 7 wins immediately, and it's with the deck that I was not sure was as good as I thought, and I think I'm gaining more confidence in that deck. It's the blue-white aggro Convoke deck. You'll see in a second here. If you don't know what it is, you can check out the previous video. It'll be broken down a little bit better than in this video. But this was a really fun run because during the last game, I was up against blue-white control, and that actually felt like a challenging game of Magic. And I haven't felt that in a long time. So that match alone was worth playing the game today, and I'm really happy about that because I felt like I actually had to play, really, really well. And that doesn't happen very often. And there are some times where I don't even care to play really well. But this was definitely the case. Even though the early matches, I was a little bit like kind of winging it, not really paying, super attention, not super focused. But halfway through, I started really honing in because I saw the potential of the 7-win run. And once I was locked in, we made it to the end. So that was really cool. We did it with this deck. I'm sure some of you already know because I mentioned the previous video, but this deck is amazing. And I think that it is better than Boros. Now, I'm not 100% sure about that, but the more I play it, the more I see the benefits of having blue. And it was pretty obvious, right? Like this metagame is so specific right now where having counter magic is just so valuable because everybody's trying to do something broken. And some decks are extremely greedy. Some decks have like a really crazy combo. And without counter magic, you're vulnerable to just losing the game in a position that is pretty early, right? It's still maybe a little bit early for most aggro decks because you have to keep in mind that those decks also could play sweepers, right? To slow you down. So they can pop off on like turn 4, potentially combo decks I'm talking about. Ramp decks can like ramp into Atraxa pretty fast while weaving in a sweeper to slow you down. So having counter magic for those sweepers means that they'll have less opportunity to stabilize. They'll have less time, and time is all you want in a deck that is trying to, kill you through damage. And it's all because of this, pretty much. This card is spectacular. I never thought it would actually see play. The power level was there, but I never thought there was a deck that could leverage this as much as this can. The non-creature spells, you have Convoke and the 2 tokens. Everything about this card is so powerful. It's powerful because it's also a permanent itself, so it pops the Bunnycorn. It's powerful because you have Warden that needs more creatures to tap to gain counters and scry. But it's also powerful because of the flip side, the non-creature spells you have Convoke, as I mentioned, and because there are spells that leverage that incredibly well. One of them is Lost in Maze, and Lost in Maze is absolutely fantastic. It's so powerful, but it really is a card that can only fit in a few specific decks due to how much it costs, right? Like Lost in Maze 2 and X is a pretty hefty cost for most decks. And thanks to Convoke, that cost is lessened, basically. It's less of a burden on you. So you can usually cast this more often than in other decks that don't play this. And that is where this card comes in. And it allows you to have a flexible card, a card that can win you the game through protecting your creatures through the tap creatures you control of Hexproof. You can tap your own creatures, but more importantly, in mid-range matchups and even aggro decks in any creature matchup, you can totally lock down your opponent's board at instant speed on their turn, and it will lock those creatures for 2 turns. They will not be able to block. And in a deck like this, where you're swinging for like 7, 8, 9 with Bunnycorn, this is Flying Vigilance with big toughness and power. This can scale up your whole board. I didn't mention that, but you can Convoke Virtue of Loyalty and just scale your entire board up. It's so crazy. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? And some people are not respecting this because they don't really know the deck. They don't know how it works. And I got a lot of wins today due to opponent misplaying. Obviously, that's going to happen. Since there's no rank attached to the metagame challenge, you can face players that are not as comfortable playing as cards they don't really know of. And specifically, this has been a huge surprise, I think, for most people, where sometimes on turn 3, I flip it, I play Virtue, the game's over. Like, it's just, some decks just do not have answers to a flip Virtue. They don't have Sweeper, and that puts them in a really, basically, game-losing position, essentially. So the power level of these 3 cards right here, Invasion, Maze, and Virtue, tied with the extremely valuable creatures and the extreme amount of value you're gaining from them, period, like just this potentially drawing you a card with the clue, and this also drawing you a land potentially with the explore or giving you more stats. Everything is so much value already. And on top of that, you add the Restless Anchorage, which acts as creature land. Flying is insane, and untapping the land is also relevant. Then Mirax that can make a bunch of tokens that you scale up with Virtue, etc., etc. I mean, just it's so brutal for, like, you have so many ways to generate board presence and keep up the pressure, and then you have the counter spells to back it up. So yeah, I made a few changes to this deck. You can probably just, so the list that's going to be linked is not going to be the exact same, so make sure you make the changes if you want to. It's not a huge deal. The deck was already pretty good, but I swapped a Wandering Emperor for a Protect, and I put the Wandering Emperor in the board where the Protect was. We have another Negate. We have Cathar Commando instead of Lantern Flare, and we have another Steel Seraph, because this card is absolutely back-breaking for some decks. It is. I wish it was in the main deck, but I know I can't justify it. Like, it's just, the main deck is too tight. Steel Seraph in creature matchups is unparalleled. It is so degenerate. Like, it is so good. If you curve out a Bunnycorn and then you play like an Invasion, and then, you know, your opponent's like, they might have to chump block on that turn where you play the Invasion, and then they're like, okay, I really don't want them to flip this. And you play Steel Seraph, you give your Bunnycorn flying, or you give whatever flying, and you flip the Invasion and you play the Virtue, it gets out of hand so fast. Like, the flying, giving flying to Bunnycorn is absurd. Giving lifelink to Bunnycorn is absurd. Giving lifelink to a Warden is absurd. And the fact that on top of that, this is a flyer, and it can give Schooner flying as well. Like, it's just, it's so backbreaking for so many people. Even if you curve this out with Schooner, if you go like turn one, Schooner into Seraph, it's already good. Like, we know Schooner to Seraph is good. It has seen play a little bit before. But anyways, I'm going to leave you with the gameplay. It will speak for itself. There were some messy games for sure. Like, a lot of people were not playing perfectly against me, so definitely contributed to my 7-win run here. But some of the games were spectacular, like the last game. And before we get into it, I do have a second channel, just going to shout that out real quick, where I play roguelike deck builders and action roguelikes. So if you enjoy those, link in the description. I'd greatly appreciate it if you checked it out, if you're interested. If you're not, that's totally fine. Anyways, enough yapping. Let's get into it. I don't actually know how to evaluate hands yet in this deck. Like, this seems really bad, but 3 lands in a 23 land deck is not horrible, because that way most of my top decks are live. So I'm gonna try it just to see how it works out. How did I come up with krowz? It's just dumb. It's just crow, but the edgy way with a K, and then S because plural. That's it. It's not very helpful. Yeah, this hand's not gonna work. I mean, it was mostly gonna be okay if I did draw land, but drawing the land is just kind of devastating. Yeah, drawing 2 lands is very devastating. Gonna have to play off Lost in Maze, I guess, and like Virtue or something. I don't know. I don't think this matchup is super hard, though. I have a lot of removal. The problem is the Get Lost does not work in my favor most of the time. Because this is an artifact synergy deck, so... Yeah, I don't know. This is not winnable, right? I don't know. I can't do anything. I'm just flooding. It's just, I was not expecting to draw 3 lands in a row. Obviously, specifically with Siren as well. Oh yeah, they can eat my own stuff. That's annoying. That's not a good play, I think. They should have targeted that always, because they don't care if this dies. I mean, that might be good enough to win, but it's gonna take a minute, because I need other stuff. It'll take more than a minute. Ugh. I might need to play Laurent or something, I don't know. Okay, that will maybe help. But it's not gonna help me right now, that's the problem. Might be too slow, because the Ginger Boots is gonna be huge if they start pumping as well. Yeah. I mean, at least I'm maybe... I think I'm dead in 2 turns, actually, yeah, for sure. Might have to just... I can't do it, right? It's just so weak. Then I actually have to... No. It's a losing play. Okay, that is a losing play for them, though. They should have always popped that for 5 damage. Still in a bad spot, though. Might be one of the harder matchups. Mostly because I have no answer for this. Am I dead? I don't think so. I think I have to play around me not being dead. Either way, this is a losing play. It really is. This has to happen next turn, and then maybe I win. But I think I might be dead. Just depends on whether or not I survive 1 turn. But with the help of the Cauldron, it's probably lethal. Thing is, for this, they have to activate once at least, and then it depends on the RNG from the maps, probably. I'll let them do their thing. Okay, they need 4. Oh, they only have 1 blue. That's interesting. This can tap for... thing. Oh. Okay. There's the 4. So I'm forced to block, right? It's unfortunate. Yeah, at least I get rid of the Larcenist. That's worth something. Oh wait, I don't get rid of the Larcenist. I didn't see that. Yeah, whatever. That was game over anyways. Thought that was tapped. I mean, it was a really bad opening hand. It could have been a little bit closer as well. I just had a better hand. I don't think Wandering Emperor is that good compared to spot removal. I also don't think Invasion is super good either. But it's probably good on. It's probably decent on the play. I think it's probably decent. I need to play Loran or something. It's disappointing. Another bad hand. I guess. I don't really care. Could have mitigated 1 damage, but that's okay. So really, it's not a bad matchup. It's just like, if I just have an opening hand that's reasonable, it's fine. Probably should have attacked with that. But at least this is a good bluff, I feel like. Wow. Unfortunate. Pretty unfortunate. Haywire might is really good against me. Yeah, I guess that'll have to do. Just gotta win through flyers. It's doable. Maybe I keep up Maze here. Stop them from attacking with the schooner. No, I need to set this up right. At least they'll, if they want to attack with the schooner, they're gonna get wrecked by that. Being on blocks. You can get rid of Bunnycorn, but that gives me access to Wandering Emperor or Virtue, which is kind of good. Both cases. Probably gonna be Wandering Emperor realistically. Then I can probably swing with a lot more. And if this does not work out, it's actually fine. I can just play Bunny Corn, I guess. Again. Oh, they do gain 2, I forgot about that. Hold up the maze, maybe. If they have another license, not great, but we'll see. That's fine. Not enough mana. I don't know if they're playing like super low land count or what. Yeah, I won't get my thing back, but at least to get rid of that.
I'm home. Remember your training.
I mean, I'm also mana screwed, so it's not helping. Okay, they got out of it. It's just a little late, but might be just enough. You can tap one thing.
Always glad to meet my match.
Problem is, they can gain a lot of health here. Actually, they can't. They're dead. Oh no, that's +3.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Wish Bunnycorn had trample. I don't think there's an easy way to do that though. No, I know they can eat to stay alive. I just forgot that was 3 and not 2 because the might gain 2. So I was just in my head it was like 2 life max. And then I remember the food is 3. That lore on this matchup would be so free. It might be Steel Seraph, like that card is just good. I don't know. I think Invasion is kind of ass actually in this matchup. Might be better. I don't know. I was gonna say it might be better to play Glyph, but don't think so either. I mean, Protect is fine. It's just like really random whether it's gonna be relevant or not. It might be more relevant than Invasion. Depends. Yeah, I will. I mean, I don't know. Bunnycorn, if it was just creatures, I'd probably never play it, right? But since this is permanence, it opens up a lot more decks, possibly. I don't think I have the mana for this. I'm thinking about Protect. I think that's the one thing I'm thinking about here instead of the battle. But at the same time, the battle generating 2 creatures is worth something, so I'll try it. If it's disastrous, I'll just cut it next time. Battles are not going to age well. In terms of power creep, yeah. In terms of card design, they're the best card design that I've ever seen in this game, so yeah. Battles, they might suffer the power creep, but they're also cards that can be power crept, so I don't know. I don't know if that's true. It's only going to get power crept if they don't introduce new battles. Which is possible. They might not introduce more battles, I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is all we're getting. Hey, Baro. Bunnycorn is a great card that exists in a meta full of super cheap removal. What do you mean by super cheap? You can't destroy Bunnycorn for 1 mana. So worst case, they're using 2 mana to kill your 2 mana creature. Fine with that. Whoa, they're tapping that? That means they want to... They really want the stats on that, eh? Didn't get it. I mean, me being on the draw is a problem here, but at the same time, I get the ginger boot for free because they did that greedy play. Now that is very interesting. But I think I have to pressure the invasion this turn. It's pretty good here with the schooner. They haven't seen that card yet, so they have to be afraid of it now. But it's in game 3, so it's too late to prepare for it. I mean, I really want that, but I just think it's not something I can take here. Unless I actually flip the... Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to flip here. Problem is I don't have removal. So keeping this has a price, and it's just the fact that I'm going to be stuck with pretty much only Lost in Main as interaction, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to come down at some point. I'm almost certain this is going to be flipped. And after that point, I have basically a full board lockdown. Whoa. Really? Why do they want more lands there in that position? They want stats? Probably want stats, right? Okay, that's fine. This is a really good spot. No more creatures to activate Schooner, so they have only one thing. Oh, never mind. I take it back. Still fine, though. We have Steel Seraph. Save the day. Thank goodness I worded it in. It's really good. Cards just bust, though. And then we have the Virtue. And if they can't interact with it, it's probably GG. You can definitely use it on the Steel Seraph since everything's on tapping. Or maybe not. Maybe Steel Seraph is just too vulnerable. Yeah, that was a mistake. Usually you want on Steel Seraph, but I think it's their highest priority target, so I should put down something else. But again, I can protect it, so it's not even that bad. Cut down if you play it on curve. If you play Bunnycorn on curve, it's a 3/3 with Inspector and the other thing. It's not a 2/2. This looks like GG. Damn, I really want Steel Seraph in the main deck. It's just so busted. I could have... I made a misplay. I could have done that already. Like, I could have tapped 2 more and then... Ooh, I might... Well, whatever. I still have Lost in Maze. I can full tap their board. It's not a huge deal. Yeah, it was a mistake, but it's fine. This is perfect. This is exactly what I want here. Commit more. Commit more. I think I would have lost this for sure without Lost in Maze. Maybe, because unblockable just kills me in 2 turns, basically. Oh no, I have lifesteal, huh? Kind of interesting. Alright, say goodbye to your board. Haven't seen that one either, eh? Gotcha. So I was trying to think about how to sequence that, but yeah, the fact that I didn't Virtue was a big mistake for sure. Okay. I did not come up with this deck. I played against it on ladder, but I didn't have the list, so I tried to recreate it. It's not that hard, I think. Another bad hand, probably. Oh wait, why did I do that? I have 200. Okay. This matchup is horrible. I do have my 1 counter spell though. Maybe it'll be good enough. I don't know. Oh, I should have I shouldn't have done that. No, okay, never mind. That's fine. I was gonna say I need an alternative if I'm not gonna counter here. I'm assuming. I mean, I just lose. This matchup's impossible. I don't have a choice. I guess I have to commit. Okay, they didn't. All right. Fair. But like my play is just weak still. That's gonna do that. I should have played Inspector anyways. Tezzeret? Is this the Croakies thing? How does this deck win again? Okay, this is not as scary as I thought it would be. It's not the... That's huge. This will win me the game if it sticks, but it probably won't. Okay, we have a chance. We have a chance. Unless this dies, which it probably will. It's fine. I have no options. This is the only thing that wins me the game potentially. Okay. No removal. This deck has very low removal count, so... This doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, I guess I can full control sequences to draw. I don't think it matters. Oh wait, no, it's only spells. Never mind. Does not matter. It doesn't give Kavod to everything I have. Okay. Yeah, I know they have Sunfall. But they don't have it in hand, I guess. Wait. Do they have white mana? Probably. Just Demir. Because I know Kroki's deck has Sunfall. Oh, they do have white mana, yeah. Why, how they could never cast this otherwise. They can block the 4, right? So 6, 12, lethal now. Had to get the +1 there. Well, didn't even need to use the counter. Post board against this deck is interesting. I feel like I have to cut a few. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's so good, but I can't cut these. I can't cut this. Cannot cut this. I probably can't cut that. Schooner probably has to stay. I mean, it's probably just not glyph, and then like one virtue or something. I don't know. Virtue being instant speed is so good though. It's hard. It's Jewel with Tezzeret. I looked at Jewel, I still don't understand how that card is any good. Oh, what's the combo with Jewel? Is Tidebinder even good? Yeah, it probably is. Maybe Bunny Corn is not like super good. They're gonna be bringing this is probably fine. I think Virtue is better than Bunny Corn because it's instant. Allows me to play a little bit sneakier. I mean, it's like I could go either way. It could be insane, but it's probably just want all my instant speed stuff probably. Cutting Warden. Oh yeah, Cutting Warden is not ridiculous. Wow. 23 lands, by the way. What the? Yeah, actually Cutting Warden is not ridiculous, but I think Warden is always like super good, so It's hard to say because you have so many other ways of giving Warden counters. Just you have Schooner, you've got Virtue proc, even though that's late game, and you've got Wandering Emperor potentially. So even if it's just a 1/2, it's still like relatively powerful. All right, that's a good start for them. Now, I do need one of my counters. That's the problem. I don't have that many counters. Wow, amazing. That is best card I could have drawn. I forgot I had this counter as well. If it's low removal, it's fine. I mean, yeah, but in that case, Bunny Corn's also they're probably equivalent, so I don't know what's better. I think the 1 mana is more flexible, so it's probably worth more. Yeah, you can use yeah. I know Jewel for mana is good, but what's the win con that deck? Other, I guess, is Atraxa. So the craft is not worth that much, right? And even then, you still have to curve out the Jewel and the Vault, right? Otherwise, it's not great. Oh, it also works for this. Okay. Sure. Yeah, Jewel's pretty good here. Can't deny that. Artifact from Tezzeret. I'm probably getting swept, right? I should not even... I should just damage them at this point. And I need to, if I find a counter, it's over. I don't know. Counter, please. They can't Sunfall yet. Untapped white. Well, is what it is. Don't think I win now. They have it. I wouldn't take them that long. If they had it, they would just cast it, so... Yeah, after a few seconds of thinking, it's pretty obvious they didn't have it, but... Some people slow roll. Ah, it's so close. It's probably still lethal, right? Assuming nothing bad happens here. Oh wait, it's not still lethal. But it's like really close. It's not even... I don't know. No, it is lethal. What am I... A little bit distracted there. I was just trying to figure out the music situation. It's fine. Like, usually, if people see lethal on board, they just concede. So I was just didn't really do the math. Fine. I don't see how that deck is going to necessarily beat, like, the greedier decks if you're not playing counter magic. The sweeping is not enough. Playing your own Atraxa is not enough if you also don't have counters. Content, baby. Let's go. Content successful. Oh, they're also content focused. Content brain. This might be an interesting matchup, actually. This could be pretty rough. I mean, there's no way I'm blocking that, right? Surely not. Now, the problem is if my warden dies, it's not great. Okay, that's fine. Gladly spend 2 mana to kill that. That's totally fine. Interesting decision, but if I'm gonna hold counter up, it's probably Bunnycorn. Oh, I like that. I'll miss 2 damage for +1 here. Alright, 2 threats on the board. PS, slow, nump. That's gotta go. I will gladly kill that. Terrifying. Oh, I can destroy that to get my stuff back too. Okay. Yeah, this is scary. A little bit too slow, a little bit too clunky. Like I just needed one removal spell and it kind of stifles them a little bit too much. I forgot. Yeah, I guess I can't change the deck, but I really want Laurent somewhere. I don't know where. It's kind of hard to sideboard this deck. Just because there are not many cards you can actually sideboard out of your deck. Like Schooner is definitely something you can consider cutting. And then depending on the amount of removal I'd want. The problem is this also grabs me a land, so it's most of the time going to be like a few invasions, maybe a virtue in this case, and then could be a spell pierce. I can see that. Their overall mana count should be relatively low. I could see Steel Seraph as well as the goat that it is. But I think in this matchup, if I flip this, it's over. Problem is, am I going to be able to flip it consistently? Well, they're definitely playing the War Leader's Call as well in this deck. I don't think Wandering Emperor is impactful in this matchup, actually. Do that. I could probably lower the Wandering Emperor in the main deck to 2. I think that's reasonable. Not my favorite hand ever, but see how it goes. It's a really good draw. Actually, I take it back. That's not a good draw until I find land 3, but it's gonna be a good play eventually. Unless I get mana screwed on 2 for the rest of the game, which is also a possibility. It's fine. That's good. Force the block, and flip next turn. That's the power of Steel Seraph. It just forces your opponent to... well, it's not really... It doesn't force much, but it forces an attacker through, potentially, into your battles. And that can be pretty disgusting. What the... Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Oof. Uh-oh. I'm a little bit scared now. At least I have Maze, but... I don't know, this is not looking great. Depending on how hard they can pop off here. So... yeah, I guess I should attack, right? I can maybe kill next turn, maybe. I mean, that's a big maybe, but... Alright, so Maze has to save me here. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, what? I didn't target that? Oh. Well, that's bad. Oh, they have Sunfall. Are you kidding me? Well, GG. Is what it is. I did not expect Sunfall in a deck with Mentor, but... I mean, I might as well just trade a bunch of stuff, right? But that can grow, so I kind of have to respect that. I mean, I'd lose the game, right? There's no recovering from this. Absolutely not. I shouldn't give them stuff on purpose, though. Like, too many things on purpose. Okay, I wouldn't need Steel Seraph. Okay, wait, it should be this, then. I'm gonna lose the game anyways, right? I don't know. This is complicated. Could do this. Sure, that's probably the best play. How unfortunate. It's 4. Still winnable, but man. It's back to 0 basically. I might need counter magic post board. Then I was not expecting them to be a deck that's that slow actually. It's pretty random. They probably only have like 2 copies of Sunfall in the Druid. That's really unlucky. I need that land. That's why it's kind of degen. Like Sunfall is kind of degen as a card because you can. There's no real downside to playing it because you're gonna get the creature either way. Like sure you lose your board, but your board is right there. Wow, I did not expect this. Okay, I guess I can protect that. I mean, do I have to? I think it's probably the only way of winning this. I need the flyer. The flyer's the most important thing here on my board. Risk gonna tap it, which is kind of not great, but we'll see. I could still find Steel Seraph, right, to fly in the Bunnycorn. I have one more. That's okay. I am playing Spell Pierce actually. What the? I even had that call correct actually. I mean, I could play more counters, but it's fine. I don't know. Try this is tough because they basically have every answer they need in their deck. It's just a question of them finding it. So I could change my game plan overall to be way more defensive. I don't know if that's worth it though. Like, I actually don't think that Get Lost is super impactful here. It's probably better than Case. Slightly. I also think Schooner is really good in this matchup. Just because it's not on board as a creature. Tidebinder is probably not as good as an actual counter. But it also does disable the Mentor. It's tough. I think it's incorrect. I think it's just better to play a hard counter. But then, I don't know what to do. There's too many directions. This gains value if I go this direction. Might cut one of this. Not two. I don't know, something like that. I don't know, that's tough. I think I want 4. If I'm running a bunch of counter spells, I definitely want the battle. Probably. It's not great, but it'll do. Maybe Warden is better than Moneycorn. I still have not evaluated whether in most games Warden is actually better or worse than Moneycorn. It's a really hard thing to figure out. Because like if this dies, it's probably just worse than Warden. So at least I get the Scry. But I do have to tap my creatures too, so it's definitely interesting. Ooh. High risk, high reward. I know they have Helix, which is kind of a problem, right? But they have every possible answer to all of my things. It's just which ones I want to play around. But I don't know. It's a tough one. Like they probably have Helix here. It's a good draw. I can play it in tandem with the Moneycorn. And the Anchorage is going to be good here. Probably Helix on that, sure. At least my Bunnycorn's alive. For now. I still need to counter in 2 turns, otherwise I'm just GG. I'm actually gonna risk it here. If I get the counter, it's over. Okay. Well, it's not over, but it's pretty good. Okay. So now I need a damn counter spell and then we're good to go. I'm gonna dig for it with the sirens. Sure, that's not terrible, I guess. Oh wait, but it does. Oh, wait, that is really bad actually. That's unfortunate. Oh, wait, they just made a misplay. They could just target this and I lose. Alright, so now we know that the sweeper's coming down for sure. No question. Absolutely no question, right? Just pretty unfortunate. So I'm not going to overcommit to this. I'm just going to play like one siren maybe. No, I want the sirens to stick. Tough. No, I need to play siren to force them to do it at least, right? Otherwise, I feel like it's a little bit too weak, maybe. And they still need the land, too. And they're definitely not playing 4 Sunfall, so they might just not have it as well. So this is pretty much the perfect amount of pressure. Hopefully they don't find an answer for loyalty. They did. I can still convoke, though. So it's not the end of the world. Oh, that's Oh yeah, that's 7. Okay, whoops. For some reason I thought that was 6. Eh. It's not too bad, I guess. I can just play this. Hold this up, I guess. Alright, no sweeper. Oh wait, what? Oh yeah, actually that makes sense. It couldn't not tap this because I need the white. Yeah, that's okay. Them swinging is actually fine. They should be swinging with more, maybe. I don't know. Now I can't cast that. Okay. Still. Oh wait, actually, I can force cast. What if they're holding the sweeper here? It's not that bad, right? No, it's not that bad. Wait, I cannot force cast, right? Oh no, I can. Oh wait, I want to, the convoke stuff. I need to get used to the convoke stuff. I'm just not sequencing it correctly. I should have definitely cracked the map. Actually, maybe not. Maybe not. If I want the stats, it's not correct. Okay, if they find Sunfall, they find Sunfall, I guess. Okay. Ah. That's my siren, I guess. Do I have Steel Seraph? I do. Don't need to commit more to this. Okay. Kind of want the 9/9 to stick. It's a good blocker. That's why Anchorage is such high value in this deck. It's so rough to not play it. ×3. It's hard. It's actually so hard to justify. I might have to put it back in after. Alright, that's it. GG. Yep, they're not playing that many Sunfalls, so... Don't think I'm dead. Oh, what if they didn't play that and just removed my Bunnygorn? I would not be dead, right? Could, but this is trample, so... Interesting. The Bunnycorn will die, right? Because I'm losing stuff. Oh, I lost one. Yeah, I lost one. It's not bad. Okay. Flyers seem really important in this deck. I'm wondering if there's another flyer to play. Like Fairy Mastermind or something. Sure. This is the typical hand that you see with this deck. It's like, alright. Sure. Why not? Emperor feels weird. I don't think it is weird because it's removal. It's a really good combat trick. It's also board presence, vigilance, which is really important for convoke stuff. And obviously you can convoke it itself, right? Okay, that's unfortunate. I should have never played the Siren there. That was just a misplay. I forgot that if I draw a blue, I'm screwed. Yeah, that was a misplay. Okay. Mono blue though should be okay. I don't know, but there maybe shouldn't be 3 Wandering Emperors in the main deck. That I will possibly agree with you with. Okay. Why Lost in Maze? If you convoke it, it's insta board lock on your... Like, your opponent will just not be able to block, so you just win. It's kind of like giving your creatures flying, but it also prevents damage. And it also protects your creature's instant speed, so... Yeah. The question of Wandering Emperor is mostly about, can we either get the Convoke battle down, or can we hit 4 mana reliably? The answer to the second question is no. So then we have to think about how often are we getting the Convoke off of this, with the double white required, or maybe not even the double white, but like maybe how often is this combo relevant versus how often am I just looking to find 4 mana to cast it hard cast? I don't know. That's still something that will come with time, but I can't really say right now whether it's correct or not. I just don't know. Like this card is irreplaceable against control decks, for example, as well, where a Planeswalker goes super long way towards you winning. Invasion and Virtue untap creatures? Yeah, but it's the protection in reaction to your opponent casting the spell. And then obviously the board lock. You're using this as a way to protect your creatures at instant speed. It's not about the permanent hexproof thing. That's not very relevant. As long as you protect it one time, you already got value to this. The other side is that when you're untapping every turn, right, with the Virtue, as you said, then at that point you use it as a tap all your opponent's creatures, which is good, right? In this deck, you have an extra like full-on win condition where just they can't block, so... The hexproof no longer matters once you use either the protection or the tap. But it's still nice. Sometimes you don't have loyalty, so in those cases it will still be relevant. And sometimes you have Schooner, which is an instant speed way to tap on your opponent's turn, so there's also that, right? Anyways, let me just focus real quick. This can't get cut. Oh no, what a... I think Lost in Maze is actually bad in this matchup. Like, it's not great. And then maybe Bunnycorn, I don't know. No time. I don't know. Something's got to go there. It's probably not my 1-drops. It's probably not my 2-drops. It's probably my 3-drop. I have LSU. Yeah, not enough time for not enough timer for me to be explaining why cards are in the deck. That's fine. This hand's like really not great. This hand needs... Okay. This hand needs Warden. I mean, this is definitely a Novice Inspector because it didn't want to stay on the board. Too afraid of the battlefield. Wants to hide in hand. Get back out there, boy. Okay. That's what's nice about it. So, I'm kind of wondering, should I really be playing 2 islands in a deck where most of my 1-drops are white? Actually, not most of my 1-drops. I mean, it's like 50-50. But like, yeah, if I had double singular blue source, it's really not good. I feel like I should destroy that. This card is really good. Vigilance, more power, draw. Oh yeah, kill that, sure. I'm gonna trade removal spells. Okay, again, yeah, I think I'm gonna cut an island. It's just a mistake. It's my bad. It's only for Maze, but even for Maze, I think it's not justified because it screws over my entire curve out, basically, for no reason. Okay, they're mana screwed. They're probably gonna get wrecked here. Maybe not. But mana screwed as a mid-range deck that plays a pretty fair game is not where you want to be at for sure. I'm kind of down for that actually. It's a good crew. It's a good draw an extra card. Then I can always find a land. Worst case, play Wandering Emperor and then play Virtue. I need more board before Virtue is even relevant. Really, it is relevant right now, but a little bit more maybe. And also there's Terra Sunder that could happen. Okay. Oh. That's pretty good. No reason... Actually, I was going to say no reason not to attack, but there is a reason not to attack. But this does not grow necessarily. No land, eh? Gotta use this now in case I find a tap land. Where are the lands? I guess that's what they're asking. They found it though. Okay, they're back in it. I should have put the counter on this then if I was not going to attack. Are they gonna bounce it, or are they gonna try to trade? That was a mistake for me to cast them. Alright, whatever. I'm not focused. I literally mentioned that if I draw tap land, I have to play around that. I didn't do it. That was the previous turn though. Now my whole curve is kind of screwed actually. Gonna have to play Virtue next turn, guaranteed then. Ooh, that's dead? Really? I mean, I guess it could die with the maps, but... Okay. I feel like it was a better play to use the maps. I guess they just assume they're gonna draw land. It makes sense in a way. I feel like it's just not right to cast this, but at the same time, it's just more mana efficient. It is what it is. I can do so much more next turn. Oh, I can do that. I can definitely do that. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm just underestimating how insane Virtue is. Like, it's even on a two creature board, it's still insane. Actually, I should have played the bunny corn. I was gonna play it. Cancel play. Alright. Sweepers are coming in. Need counterspell. What kind of counterspell though? Zoetic Glyph is pretty good just because it's 4 toughness. 4 toughness pretty rough for them. So yeah, in this situation, I feel like I should lean more into the control aspect of this deck. I'm not going to talk too much because my dogs are barking. It's so hard to justify cutting instant speed stuff if I'm trying to hold up counter magic. It's just so hard. Do I board out Schoon on the draw? Depends on the matchup. I think in this matchup it's pretty good. 4 toughness again is like the key point about this. I think I have to get used to I have to get used to trimming like one copy of a few cards, I think. Because it's just not, there's not like one card that has to go. So I kind of have to just go -1, -1, -1. It's just, it's pretty frustrating, but it's not a huge deal, I think. I'm just not used to playing like this. But I think it's fine. I gotta get the Scry plus land. Oh, okay, that is... I kind of forgot about the bat. It's been a while since we faced a bat, eh? Yeah, this is gonna be hard. And depends on what they take, I guess. Okay, that's okay. I was kind of scared they take my Warden, then I'm actually kind of screwed. Because I need the Scry. I mean, that's interesting, because technically it could find me a land, and if it's not a land, I get a 2/2 flyer. I don't have anything better to do. I kind of feel like that's fine.
A fight? And you think you can win?
Ah, still muted. Well, that's the mute game. Oh, that's that to cut down, isn't it? It's not dead to cut down. Well, I'm just dead. Doesn't matter if it's dead to cut down or not.
This isn't how things were supposed to go.
Hey, I have a tax counter for 1 though. They play shield red. Hey. Get fucked. I'm still gonna lose. Wait. Untapped? No. Alright, dude. Go again, go again. Oh, shit. Why would you put on the bat, actually? Because if I kill this, I get my... I mean, I don't know. If it goes to 3-3, I guess it's fine. Oh my god, there's another bat. Okay, Giga. I don't think Scooty's gonna help me here. Kind of have to take the counter aim. Yep. This when you're playing like a blue-white deck, it's like impossible to interact with this. This is just gonna be there forever. I have no choice. This is a terrible attack if they have nothing. Okay. Alright. If I land the invasion here and I get the attack in, they have to block, or they give me invasion, I might win. They kind of threw the game there. Please? One time? Please? I'm not asking for much, just 1 real estate, please. Thank you. Alright, it's not over, because they can block with a shitty bat. Land? Okay. No! Untapped land. Why? Just invert the order, please. What? That's resolving? Okay. There's hope. That's resolving. Okay. This is looking good now. See, that is a small like psychological trap you can fall on when you're playing the bat, is no longer viewing it as a creature, right? Or as like a blocker, not really a creature, but like the value of me getting back a counter spell or a removal spell. I guess removal spell maybe a little bit more, but like I can't cast a counter spell on this turn. So, but one of them is a good block. I don't know which one it is. It might be the removal spell because I would have to cast it afterwards, but sure. So question, do I cast this now? No, probably not, because I want to tap everything, right? I mean, I would get to swing here, but it's not worth that much, I think. Hey, Deagle. So I need to cast this for 2 mana, and then I can cast the glyph, right? Or not? I can cast the glyph. Oh no, wait, this would not. This will tap for colorless, correct? I think it works. I shouldn't tap now. I don't think it's worth. Like, I wouldn't even be getting that much out of it. Because this is a tap land, it's a pain. I mean, this has to happen. Now the question is what happens afterward. Or does this even work? Because technically... No, it's probably even better for me to play the flyer and not the glyph, right? Because I can glyph next turn for... like, haste, basically. So I think it's not worth it. Alright, let's do this. No, white creatures doesn't matter. I'm using my mana. I was gonna say cast a glyph by tapping my creatures, but I guess it wasn't clear. Oh, I could have used the map token. Not a big deal, right? I would be down to leave this up. Depends on what else they present here. Eh. This already did its job, I think. Four life's kind of annoying, though. Yeah, imagine not playing Lost in Maze in this spot. I don't think I mind getting back my, maybe I don't mind getting back my removal spell, because then I can crack it and then also get the counter back, potentially. But it would gain them an extra 2 life, it's not worth it. I don't have any more pump spells, so yeah, it's gotta be this. Yeah, March is not as good as Maze in this spot, because the lock is brutal. They're attacking, eh? Wait, they have so much HP. Whoa! What the heck? I just realized they have so much. I shouldn't draw now. Can't bring that out, right? Oh wait. I don't have Virtue anymore. Eh. Oh wait, I wouldn't want this to die, actually. I need to leave 2 things untapped, basically. Oh no, wait, I would not be able... No, I can't. I have no white. Oh. So I just untap Schooner and like 1 tiny shitter, probably. Or the flyer, actually. Block the bat. Yeah, that's unfortunate, actually. I can't. I have no white. I can't. It'd still be fine. I mean, if it's not lethal, I could lose to the bat, but this would have to attack to even be relevant in the first place. And since I have another Virtue, I'm going to outscale by a lot. I'm going to outscale really hard. Unless they have an answer, but... I guess they could play the Virtue. No, if they play the Virtue, they're dead, yeah. Okay. Frickin' Batman. If they blocked, could have been an entirely different game, because they had the Bat God follow-up, right? Was that a follow-up? That would have been pretty devastating. Because I would have a counter, but I would no longer have anything. Yeah, I can't keep 5 lands. Okay, okay. Alright. I accept. And now it's just a question of whether or not I want to be greedy. I don't know, man. Like, kind of like greed, but how greedy Like how the greediest is this probably. There's this as well, but then like the payoff combo, like it feels like all of these can't really move. So now the question is this at the bottom or this at the bottom. I feel like this could screw me over, but if it's a control deck, I'm gonna regret putting that at the bottom. So yeah, content. Ooh, good content. Very good content. Now the question is, do they have cut down? Yes. Okay. Well, not playing. I'm not playing Warden then. Holding up the cut down. I mean, it's fine because it's mana efficient. I mean, it's not. It's fine because it's destruction efficient. Ugh. Okay, that's annoying. This matchup is fine though, I think. Playing Invasion doesn't do anything here. It's gotta be a Warden. I kind of want them to get baited here. This is interesting. The problem is, like, if I draw land, then this is kind of... This is better than land, I think. Is it better than another random spell? Probably, too. So this is, like, probably... It's only worse than, like, a removal spell, I would say. They play Raffine. It's probably not great. I'm mostly afraid of Raffine here. And that doesn't do much against Raffine, because I'd rather play Invasion if I'm going to do anything here. The reason I tap this is because I want to bait them into attacking. But they... No, I know they have cut down. It would only work if they had the... It would only work if they had Raffine and attack with Raffine, which I think they would have. Okay, I knew they had the cut down, but now I'm still in a spot where I can't really attack this, which is kind of annoying. I should still play it though. Danik is so busted! Now there's Raffine. Ooh boy. Yeah, they kind of had what they needed, so now it's on me to find stuff. If I reach... Okay. Alright. This is fine, I think. Pretty sure I win here. Yeah, pretty sure it's over. That was perfect. That's why you need to play a hard removal spell. Because you can just completely shatter the game by doing this. But you need some vigilance, so that's the issue. I do think vigilance might be something to consider in this deck, like even more vigilance somehow. I'm not sure where that would come from, though. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Vigilance. What is vigilance? I mean, Warden has vigilance, but it's like it's too slow. It's not gonna be vigilant on turn 3. So then the question is, there's a 1-drop, but I think there's a 1/1 fly with vigilance, maybe. Maybe not. What happens if you cast Deluge with Convoke? I think it still is the same effect because you cast it for mana, right? It's the Convoke is paying for the mana cost, right? How does this work? It doesn't describe Convoke. I actually don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That was just me guessing, but I could be wrong. Isn't Convoke like replacing the mana cost? Like it's like if you tap a blue, you get one blue. If you tap a blue creature, you get one blue mana, right? Or is it instead? If it's instead, actually would not work, right? It might not work. It might not work. If Convoke's wording is instead of paying mana, you can do this, then it would not work. I just don't know. Okay. I'm actually assuming it's a second thing, so it probably doesn't work. Alright, anyways. Yeah, the 2/2 that... Oh, the 2/2 vampire that draws a card with +1/+1. That's not very good. I think Spellbook Vendor is interesting, though. That might be a consideration, because it generates the extra artifacts, which is relevant for the Warden, it's relevant for the Bunnycorn. Definitely consideration, for sure. Anyways, let's actually play the game, eh? So again, I'm in a position where I have to kind of destroy the deck if I'm not willing to like cut Emperor, for example, which I am definitely willing to cut Emperor, so we can do that. Then the question is, do I want to play like other counter spells? Probably, yeah. And then we have another question is like I always feel like I want Steel Seraph, but it just doesn't really line up in terms of like what I'm cutting. I think Lost in Maze is not super good in this matchup. They don't usually go super wide, which isn't really relevant, but it's mostly about on the draw. I don't know if I have the tempo for this. Maybe I cut one. And then Schooner is not great, I think. It's probably something like this. Ah, no time. Yeah, but then again, like, if I'm gonna play the invasion game plan, which I think I am in this matchup, then I should probably play the maze. I don't know, it's so hard. Like, this deck is really weird when it comes to sideboarding, and I've definitely not thought about it enough, so we'll see. Love the counter here. I don't think they're gonna remove that, so that's the good thing about this deck is people don't remove your 1-drops like Inspector and the Flyer, so you're able to usually get at least attacks for 1, which is the most relevant early game anyways. Now I just put pressure on them. I might have a natural Virtue coming down, which is pretty good. And Maze is good here. Like the thing is, I would never want to draw 2 Maze. So in a way, playing 1 is totally fine, I think. Alright, they're gonna want to... It's kind of interesting. I almost feel like I just play Inspector. Yeah, just play Inspector, attack with everything, and just hold up Maze. They play creature, I tap it. Are they stuck on 3 mana? Yes, they are, right? Yeah. That's also good. They're gonna try to remove my Bunnycorn, right? The problem is I won't be able to protect it without tapping it, which is not my favorite thing to do here, but... If I play that, ugh. Very awkward, actually. Very awkward. Depends how much I value the protection. Like, it's kind of weird. I don't know if I value it that much, actually. But then, losing my Bunnycorn is pretty terrible in this spot. Okay. It would be amazing if they just didn't remove it before combat here. Because they don't know I'm playing this. That's also a factor of this deck. It's just, it's still unknown. You can get stuff like this. What this fixes everything, basically. The whole problem with this was that I would have to play 3. I would have to pay 3 to tap my own creature. And I can't do shit then. And then I just wasted my 3 mana on the last turn. So realistically, if people know that this is in the deck and they play around it, I think I kind of have to play Virtue of Loyalty on the previous turn, because I just can't afford to mana sink that much into protecting my Bunnycorn. I think I don't think it's worth when I have so many other things I need to do. Luminar Caspian? Don't mention that card. I actually hate that card. Card's degenerate. Imagine Aspirant and Esper. Was it? Wait, was there a meta? No, I don't think so, right? No. Rafine was never in the same meta with Aspirant. For some reason, I have like this vision of them being in the same deck, but I don't think it happened. I don't think it ever happened. Oh, it did happen? Okay, so I was right. It actually did happen. Okay. Interesting. I think the invasion is worth less than the virtue here. So, take it. Now the problem is they're getting the Anthem effect, which is making my inspectors basically worthless. So now I either draw a land here or I draw a spell. Hopefully the spell's worth. Yikes. Give me a removal spell. Give me a counter spell. Okay. Alright then. I'll take that. Sure, removing one blocker from their side of the board is relevant because I would be able to attack with a Bunnycorn without it getting chump blocked, which I think is relevant. I don't think we necessarily need to ban Rafine right now. Atraxa maybe, but this is not a Rafine meta. I would ban everything, but if we're talking purely from a health standpoint, I don't think Rafine is doing that much right now. The power creep is just kind of crazy. The meta like shift is just kind of crazy. There's too many like combo decks. There's like super low curve aggro decks. It's just like not the best spot for Rafine. I would ban the bat over Rafine any day, actually. Eh. I mean, they can't interact with my Bunnycorn, so why would I not draw, right? Oh. Yeez. It's funny they had to wait. Yeah, it's so good because they have to wait for my upkeep to to get anything out of this. So I get just pay the extra here. Why not, right? Give me that token. Me want token. Token good. Negate? Uh-oh. No token for me. Second removal spell? Sure. Why didn't they do that before I drew? It's unfortunate for them. That would have been disgusting though. Oh, that would have been disgusting. So even if they did that before I drew, I would have had a good turn here. So they have to block the Bunnycorn, right? Plus 2, 11. I have 10, 12, yeah. Alright, if they lock down or full sweep me, then I could still lose, because then I would have nothing. Oh wait, I still have this. Okay, never mind. It's not that bad. Sweeper is pretty brutal for this deck. It really is. There's not much counterplay to it. Gotta play counter magic. But even that's not necessarily enough. Ooh, I was expecting Sunfall there actually. Oof. Maybe me protecting my Bunnycorn is wrong, but then again I can't pressure the life total without it, so And I have to, actually. It was a forced play. I have to protect the only damage supposed to have against a 2/2 lifelinker that can just block all my damage, basically. Okay. I mean, if they played perfectly... Yeah, maybe I probably would have lost that second game. I don't know. It would have been a lot closer. Who knows? I can't predict whether I would have won or lost. I think I was still in an okay spot, but if they get rid of my bunny corn, well, they wouldn't get rid of it because I would have flashed in the thing, but my mana efficiency would have gone through like into the dumpster, and they would have been able to grab my virtue, which was not relevant actually, but freaking Anchorage. It's always like it's got to be Anchorage. Like if it's 2 lands, it's always a tap land. That's fine. Not a big deal. This land is just so busted. The only good thing about this tap land is that if I have 1-drop plus Warden, it's actually okay. But the problem is when you don't have Warden, then it's like... then it's not good. Because you have basically no tempo. Like this is such like a strong card for 1 mana that it kind of is equivalent to a 2-drop. So the loss of mana is fine in a way. Blue-white is okay, I think. If they can't answer Warden, it's kind of over. And I have my 1 counter spell. I mean, this is not super impactful. Because against blue-white, they have lockdown. They have a bunch of sweepers. So I can't really leverage this as much. I would maybe just want to look for Wandering Emperor or something, or like more lands. But maybe not. I don't know. That's a tough one, actually. I think it's better than a random card. Maybe. At least I have to hope it is. Lockdown. No lockdown. Okay. They probably have counter magic. Does that mean I don't cast this? No, I should cast it. If they want to interact, I just slam the invasion and then I get... sure. Okay. Alright, no, it's actually good. I didn't consider the fact that they could tap out. I was mostly considering them answering this, but even... in both cases, they would not have the mana to do anything to that, so it was correct. That's kind of interesting. I do need the land eventually. And it might be better than a random card here, but it is a tap land, but still. That's actually tough. I feel like that's a hard one. And then there's the other question of, do I want 2 damage here versus a scry? Yeah, I think 2 damage is better. Alright, so we're gonna do this. Because it's tap land. If it was on tap land, I would actually keep it, I think. I can do this again, I forgot. Because I would have the 1 up, yep, true. Okay. Just 2 and 2, I guess. Represent the most possible things possible. Aha! They were trying to bait me, eh? I gotcha, beach. I might still lose. Next turn. Wait, if this is not lethal. If it's not lethal. It's not lethal. Wait. 6, 10, it's lethal. I was just thinking, do I need to RNG? But no, I don't. Could just play... Nope. It's lethal because I can activate the thing, right? I mean, I can do it. I might as well play Bunny Corn. It's fine. Same thing. I would have gotten it anyways. Ooh, okay. I think this is... If I miscounted, I just kind of deserve to lose, but I think it's lethal. Because otherwise I could have done some other things, probably. Like potentially drawing that or something. I don't know. Actually, no, I couldn't draw. No, I don't think I could have drawn that. Alright. Alright, let's see if I have enough sideboard cards for control, which was a... It was a, you know, a thing that I wasn't sure of, so we'll get to confirm if I need more counter spells or not. Because this doesn't really count as a counter spell against control. It kind of is. It depends. It's not consistently good against control. Because they could just play Sunfall and then I'm like, okay, I have a 3-2. Alright, cool. What am I going to do with that? And I have not considered sideboarding against blue-white control either. Can't cut. Can't cut. Maybe. Can't cut that. Probably can't cut that. Can't cut this. Can't cut this. Can't cut that. Can't cut that. Can't cut that. 1 mana can't cut. Okay, so it's like... It's probably like something like this. 3. Jesus. It might be Maze. It might be Maze. It might be Maze. Because... Protection against spot removal is not that relevant against blue-white. It can be. But, like, I'm not tapping their stuff. I'd rather counter. And the most devastating thing that can happen to me is a sweeper. And that does not help me against a sweeper, so... Now... Yeah, it's probably Bunnycorn. But the thing is that... The one thing to consider with Bunnycorn is the amount of damage it can deal in bursts. So... Like, compared to Warden, it's basically Warden versus Bunnycorn, but the mana efficiency, I think, is more important than the potential power of the card. But I could be wrong, because I also have very mana-efficient counter magic, so... I'll try it. I just don't think cutting 1-drops is correct at all. And then maybe, no, it's never Bunnycorn over Schooner, never. No, that's never the thing. I mean, there's a reason I put Schooner on the other side, so... Very low pressure, but like this is mostly what I want, but I want this after I'm set up, not right now, but still probably a keep still. I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, I have like so many things that are good here. It's so hard to justify. Yeah, like even the land is good, right? Can this deck play Knight Errant? I don't think so, no. I don't think you'd want to. Ooh, okay, so... Interesting situation where... I could get wrecked by lockdown. See, this is where the problems start coming in. Where I play Schooner and then I think their lockdown is actually pretty good. I should have played this first, whoops. But then I wait... And then I also have to play on lockdown, but then I at least have spell pierce, but then they can counter my Schooner. I mean, I kind of insta-lose to lockdown, right? Like, it's just over? No, they will lock down, trust me. I mean, we're at maximum wins here, so... The thing is, if they don't have it, it's a really good position for me. Is it even that good? What if they just remove that? I think it's worth the gamble. Having this on the board is worth a lot for me. It's fine, whatever. I would be in a really good spot if this does work out, so I'm gonna try. Could have played around it, but it is what it is. I still have cards that can interact with this eventually coming. Eventually. Maybe too late though. But the problem is on the draw, it's already such a hard matchup against blue-white that that risk probably had to be taken, honestly. It is pretty hard. With a hand with 0 pressure, I kind of have to create pressure somehow. The only way I could do that was by playing that. Yeah, 50-50 is a fine thing to go for, I think. Didn't know the odds, but it's worth it. If it's a 50-50 coin flip, it's always worth committing the schooner. Those are good odds, actually. I was expecting it to be lower than that for me. In this position, I actually cannot let them resolve that, I think. I have no pressure, I have nothing. Again, now I'm forced to like, create plays. I have to like start moving the game in any direction, really. I can't just wait. Just kind of lose against control if you do that. Yeah, that's the problem with Wandering Emperor in a way, is that if I never get to cast it, it's basically worthless. It's like I'd rather play Bunny Corn in that case. But my hand was pretty mediocre, I think, so I realistically could have mulliganed. I don't know. This deck? No. I just played it on... I played against it on ladder and I was like, this looks pretty good. Yeah, Spell Pierce not very useful. So the problem is, I should have mulliganed, right? Just because a card like Spell Pierce only works if you put enough pressure on your opponent. But also, like, I could have just not played the schooner as well. I don't know. Maybe if I didn't get locked down, it would have been a totally different game anyways, so who knows? All I know is I need them to make a mistake at this point, and they're probably not going to, yeah. I have to expect counters. If I had one more mana, it would be interesting, but I mean, they have to have a counter spell here. But is there really another way out of this game? I don't think so, actually. I don't really see any outcome that is positive towards me, other than playing the Wandering Emperor and just somehow they don't have a counter spell. It is like 0%. I will never win this game. I could actually play Wandering Emperor on their turn. And then I don't know. Blue-White Reanimator Mentor deck. No, I've not played it. I played against it. I always beat it. I don't know. It seems fine, but too much counterplay, I think. Too much counterplay. Again, I have to start moving the game here, so it's got to be Wandering Emperor. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see much here. I don't see much. I do not see much here. I don't think countering that is actually that good, but I have to force multiple plays in a row here. I think no, I have to. I have to force a bunch of plays, so I need them to have as low odds as possible to have every answer that they need. But even then, I'm not sure I'm able to like cross the threshold that I need to win here. Okay, so they don't have another counterspell. That's something to play around potentially. Okay. Okay.
Now you've done.
Okay.
That's coming.
Okay.
off.
Can work with this. Maybe. Maybe.
Must
I don't know.
protect.
I need a land untapped. Okay, that's fine. That's playable. It's okay. I know they don't have counterspell. So the question is, if they have removal, I still need to move. If they have Sunfall, they don't have counter to follow it up anyways. This is tough. I don't know if minus is correct. I think it actually is, but I don't know.
Remember your
Like the problem is I have to play around both Lockdown and Sunfall. I can't play around both. Okay. Okay. I have to counter that, I think. So, but I can't counter it with Tidebinder. That's not possible. The problem is that if I was gonna try to counter Sunfall, I had to make the minus. I had to minus, but I didn't. So now I kind of feel like I have to not commit to Sunfall much more than this. So I'm not going to make a token here. Yeah, I don't care about the ability. That does not matter. I do not want to commit more creatures to Sunfall because then the token's too big. 2 is like, okay. 2 I can kind of work around. There's Lockdown. Okay, so I was correct then. What if they have Lockdown and Sunfall? Then I'm screwed. But can I really play around that? Realistically, if I don't counter this, I can play Virtue. It's not that bad. I can still play. It's probably not worth counting that then. Because then I'm just absolutely out of the game immediately. Yeah, I think that's okay. But I won't get that many opportunities to use. The thing is, I just win if they don't have Sunfall. They drew so many cards, I know they don't have counter magic, so I could counter this. But the problem is, since I know they don't have counter magic, that means they have other things, right? I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's very high likelihood of Sunfall, I think. Very high. Problem is, I don't really have many ways to play around it either way, so... I have to go for 3. I need him to be at 3. And then maybe we have a chance here.
We greet our enemies.
The longer the game goes, the more they win. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that my read is necessarily incorrect here. They have played 0 Sunfalls and they don't have counter magic, so that eliminates like a lot of their potential cards they could have in hand, and they have 5 cards in hand. Sure. Yeah, blue-white is the best deck in standard, yeah, it is. I think they're gonna try to field my thing, so I'm gonna play this. And I'm just gonna counter their field, probably. Maybe not. Well, actually, I kind of have to, right? Isn't Mirex my only, like, real outcome here? Or maybe Anchorage. Alright, let's assume they Sunfall. Then I activate Bird at +1, it's 3. Then they also have birds. I lose my bird. I think that's correct. They have to play Sunfall now, and they're down a land, which is pretty important here. Remember, wait, do I even have Get Lost post board? I don't. Okay, what am I don't know why I mentioned Get Lost at the start. I don't have Get Lost. Should I be playing Get Lost? Maybe. Realistically, maybe. So on this turn, I'm kind of okay with playing into Sunfall, because I would be able to put them in a spot where they're at 3. And then they have to find a removal spell. Okay, that's fine. Could even put them lower than that, theoretically. That might be useful. Now, if they remove it, it's done. But I was gonna lose anyways. If that's the case. Any creature is worth a decent amount here. It really is. Specifically that one. And I guess I can just make a token here, which is kind of good. Everything exiles these days, yeah. I could put them... Okay. Is it better to put them at 1 or to make a 2-2? I guess the 2-2 is not relevant, right? Because this thing would block it. Alright, it's 1, and then I try to win through Mirex for the rest of the game. Is what it is.
Remember your training.
I mean, it's probably dead. I really think they have a removal spell here. Because they have a stop. Oh, okay, they don't. Okay. So. Now, they have to... They don't have removal. They're down a land because I destroyed it, basically. And now they have to hold up 4 mana for the bird. Problem is they could have Wandering Emperor, so... But, still... I can make a 2-2 with my Wandering Emperor now. It's more relevant for me to make a token now. I also want to leave up Mirex, which is kind of annoying. Ugh. I kind of have to leave up Mirex, right? It's a instant speed play. Wait, I can't. I don't have the mana for bird and Mirex. We have to bird. We have to bird 100%. So this is... I'm probably not using the Aggro, right? Like, realistically... first of all, I'm not using Mirex, so I guess that doesn't even matter in the first place. Yeah. At least not immediately. So this is going to attack. If they have Wandering Emperor, I probably just lose the game. But I've been saying that for like 3 turns. And I don't have a choice, so... All right, okay, good news. They don't have Wandering Emperor. They don't have Wandering Emperor, so now I can make a 2/2 as well. Put them in a position where they probably have to sweep again, maybe. Now the question is, do I want to dodge a counter spell here instead of holding on to this? I think the answer is probably yes. I could have... Oh no, it's tax for 3. Okay, never mind, it's irrelevant. Now, do I want to hold this up for 2 mana? Okay, there's the counter. Okay, never mind. Do I want to... I'm definitely minusing. Do I want to potentially stack this up a little bit? Maybe find some more mana. Yeah, probably. But let's start with this. Start with this. Let's see what's happening here. Could find a different land. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. It's instant speed. It can make a token. The problem is that it's not a land, so I can't cast it and attack with a bird. But I really want this to be a 4/4, so I think I have to keep... I have to keep it on top. I'm definitely going to play this. And now the question is, do I want to keep this on top? Or not? Because this won't help me in the next turn immediately. And I don't have the mana. The thing is, I think a land is better than Wandering Emperor. I don't think there's a question about that. So if a land is better than Wandering Emperor, is it really that good? Probably not. 2, 3, 4, yeah. Okay. Problem is, it has to be untapped land. Now I have a 4/4, my Wandering Emperor is still in play. They don't have removal. They don't have Wandering Emperor. So their next draw, they top deck that. Wait, what do they have in hand then? They didn't have that last turn, so they drew that, which is a good draw for them. But does that mean I have to block with a bird? I don't understand. That's a really good draw. Okay. I'm a little bit confused as to why they didn't hold that for my bird. But that probably means it's dead, right? But then why didn't they cast the spell that removes it last turn? Oh, there you go. I'm a little bit confused here. That was just the wrong play for them. I don't know why they would do that. A little impulsive. I think the game's dragging on a lot. It's putting a lot of pressure on them. That they made a misplay there, and it might cost them the entire game. That would be good for me, obviously. I don't value that very highly, you know. The stats are not relevant. I want land. Do not want that. That's not even that bad. That at least lets me play attack with bird and then play this, which pressures your life total in multiple ways as well. That might be okay, actually, considering the position I'm in here, where they're at 1. If I can't play Murex, it's the second best thing. It is sorcery speed, though, but they still have to answer this, so... Yeah, I think that's fine. 1, 2, 3, yeah, that's fine. The 2/1/1s are valuable at 1 year. But it's just the only downside is it's not instant compared to Murex. So like an untapped land might be better in this position, right? Because it dodges a sweeper. I did not realize this at 5 mana because I literally bricked their land with the Tidebinder, and now they had to sacrifice 2 mana, so to my bird attacking. Okay, 2 attackers. Wandering Emperor doesn't work anymore because I have a 3/3, so the stats actually did matter in the end. There's Wandering Emperor, okay. Holy. That was close. I think if they didn't make a misplay, I'd probably lose there.
People must contend with me.
Okay. Wow. I think I had to sequence everything perfectly to get it to that position in the first place, so I'm happy with how that game went. I don't regret any of my plays at all. That was actually a very challenging game. That's kind of why I like control in the meta, but only if you're playing a deck that is actually effective against control in a way, right? So you have to also be playing blue, and then it creates like an interesting dynamic of like playing around things, holding spells for specific cards, playing around a lot of stuff. That's fun. This is good Magic in my opinion. This is like peak Magic the Gathering. I haven't had a hard time like that in a, in a long time. So random packs, eh? 30 packs, okay. So very worth it there. And we got a 7 on the first try, so hey, that means this deck is pretty good, eh? It's not even tuned, it's still pretty good. I'm not even looking at the cards. Yeah, thanks guys. It was a tough one, yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, that was a tough one. It's just so rough. But you can imagine like a situation where I don't play into lockdown. Maybe that leads to an easier game, but who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, I still won, but I won thanks to my opponent misplaying, so yeah. It's not like the best win ever, but still. I don't like random packs. This is a huge nerf to standard metagame challenge. Random packs is just bad. Like most people who are grinding, I guess it's good for like players who don't have full collection, but if you have a collection, like I got a bunch of gems, right? I want new cards. I don't want 40 gems or whatever the hell it is.